Now that we've seen how both the metric system and the US and slash imperial system handle linear measurements, the next thing we want to be able to do is convert back and forth between the two. And unfortunately, to do this, it's not going to be quite as easy as converting between metric units was. We are going to have to go back to having conversion factors that'll let us go back and forth between the two systems. And I've got some of them here, right? An inch is roughly on the same scale as a centimeter. Meters and feet are kind of on the same scale, and miles and kilometers are similar in size. So my question here is, how many feet are there in 12.2 meters? Well, we're back to this dimensional analysis approach. So I'm going to start with 12.2 meters. Remember how we picked the conversion factor? I'm going to use this one here because I do have one that takes me directly from meters to feet. I want to get rid of the meters. So that has to go in the bottom. And I want to keep feet. So that's going to go here on top. The meters are going to cancel. The only unit that's left is feet. Excellent. That's what I wanted. And 12.2 times 3.28, that's 40.016. There you go. There's my result. All right, so let's try another one here. All right, let's say I want to go from kilometers to miles. Again, this is just picking out the right conversion factor. I have one that goes from kilometers to miles. So that's the one I'm going to use. And same approach, right? I'm going to start with 1.5 miles. I want the miles to go away. So that goes on in the denominator. And I want to keep kilometers. And now you just pick the numbers. 1 mile, 1.6 kilometers, miles cancel. And this time we're going to do some multiplying. 1.5 times 1.6, that's 2.4 kilometers. Same approach we used back when we were talking about converting between U.S. and imperial units. I've got one more here, and this one is a little bigger. This is one of those multi-step ones because I don't have a conversion factor that goes directly from yards to kilometers. So you're welcome to pause the presentation if you like. See if you can't work this one out on your own. All right, then you can jump back in and see how I do it. Okay, so I'm going to start with 2.8 kilometers. And let's see how I'm going to do this. I'm going to go from kilometers to miles. Then I'm going to go from miles to feet. I know that conversion factor from our previous conversation. And then I'm going to go from feet into yards. All right, so let's do the one I've got right here first. To take kilometers into miles, I need the 1.6 kilometers down here and 1 mile up here. All right, kilometers cancel, and I'm left with miles. So when I get to feet, I'm going to do 5,280 feet per mile. All right, now the miles are going to cancel. One more step, and we'll have yards. So I'm going to do 1 yard per 3 feet. The feet cancel. Yards are the only unit that's left, so I can get my answer. It's going to be 2.8 times 5,280 over 1.6 times 3 yards. Do the arithmetic here. This comes out to 3,080 yards. And that's it. Right, there's my final answer. Hopefully now you've got a feel for this process, both of converting within each of the two systems and converting between the two systems. So in the next lecture, we're going to look at some practical applications and see how we can actually use these concepts.